Hello there, everybody, and welcome to New Comic Book Day for the week of the 23rd of April. Now, before I get into my top 5 of the week, I do have to send a special shout out to Cons Custom Creations for creating the new podcast tees for me. Do you have a logo? Have you ever thought, damn, my logo would be fire on a t-shirt or a hoodie or a hat or anything? Well, Cons Custom Creations has you handled for anything that you want to slap your custom logo on. She can do it for you. So head over to Cons Custom Creations on Facebook or Instagram and say, hey, can you put my logo on a t-shirt? And she's going to say, yeah, I got you. Here's an invoice, and get you taken care of for all your custom t-shirt, hoodies, hats, mouse pads, you name it. She can slap your logo on it. So go give her a shout and get your logo printed on some tees. Now then, let's jump into the 16th episode of 2025. And as always, I'm bringing you New Comic Book Day for the week of 23 April. But before we get into that, let's slap that top 5 for last week. And coming in at number 5, I'm going King Spawn, issue 44 by Rory McConville, art by Yildiray, Cinar, and covers by Eduardo, Pansica, TonTon, Revolver. And this is the Bjorn Barends variant cover for last week, which was Easter, and he nailed this cover out of the park just in time for Easter. So Bjorn Barends gets King Spawn, the number 5 spot for this awesome Easter cover. Now, coming in at number 4 this week, I had to give it to Hack Slash Body Bads by Tim Seeley, art by Steve Kurth and Stefano Caselli, and covers by Tim Seeley and Kalman Andrasofszky. I'm not sure how you say his name, but he worked on it. And this is the Bjorn. Nope, sorry. I'm not sure which cover this was, but I'm giving this the number 4 spot this week because it is the conclusion of Hack Slash Body Bads. Such a fun series. Tim Seeley knocked the right out of the park on this. So shout out to Tim Seeley. His book's coming in at number 4 this week. Coming in at number 3 this week, and it also just so happens to be the 3rd issue of this series, and it's Mine is a Long, Lonesome Grave by Justin Jordan, art by Chris Sheehan, and this is the Matthew Roberts cover. You know, this comic book is so damn good. I can see this being a TV series. I know I say this every time when this book comes across my desk, and I mean it every single time. It is just that good. Go give it a read. All right, coming in at the number 2 spot this week, I had to give it to Redcoat, issue number 11 from Ghost Machine in Image Comics. This is by Jeff Johns, art by Brian Hitch, Andrew Curry, and Brad Anderson, and covers by Gary Frank and Enyuk Lee. And this is the Enyuk Lee cover. This cover is absolutely amazing. I watched Enyuk Lee do this cover on his Instagram, and I'm giving it this week to the number 2 spot. It presented the Northerner in this issue, which is going to be a game changer for the Unknown Universe when it comes to this series. And it was super dope. Redcoat, go pick it up and get you in on some of the Unknown Universe. Now, I gave my number 1 spot this week to Wolverine, Volume 8, Issue 8 by Daniel Warren Johnson and Saladin Ahmed, art by Martin Cocello, I guess, and Daniel Warren Johnson. This cover is the Daniel Warren Johnson cover, and this is the 400th issue of Wolverine. We're 400 issues out right now of Wolverine. How dope is that? So it takes home my number 1 spot for last week. Really dope book. It was a great read by Daniel Warren Johnson. Shout out to him. This book is phenomenal. Go get a copy of it while you still can. Now then, let's jump into New Comic Book Day for this week, where we had 200 new issues released and 442 issues overall. Now, as always, I'm going to break it down by publisher like I always do, and we're going to start with Marvel. And diving into Marvel this week, we have One World Under Doom, issue number 3. And this is called The Devil We Know, written by Ryan North, art by R.B. Silva, cover by Ben Harvey, and color by David Curell and Travis Lanham on the letters. The Avengers have faced Doom and they lost, but Earth still needs avenging. And it's not just the heroes who dislike having Doom in charge. And so heroes and villains unite against Doom, intent on taking him down once and for all. But that's not all. A simultaneous magic attack reveals the shocking truth of how Doom took over the world, with terrifying implications for how others might or might not take it from him. However, Doom's mind, vast, cool, and unsympathetic, is not the only one regarding Earth with envious eyes. This series has been amazing so far. Can't recommend it enough to you. One World Under Doom, issue 3. Phenomenal book so far. Now, staying in Marvel for one more title. We have a new number 1 for Marvel this week that I picked up and I recommend to you, and that's Predator versus Spider-Man, issue number 1 by Benjamin Percy, art by Marcelo Ferreira, cover by Ryan Brown, ink by Jay Liston, and color by Frank D'Armata. Target, Spider-Man, in Predator's greediest series yet. In Predator versus Wolverine, we saw a single Predator stalk Earth's greatest prey, the killing machine Wolverine. In Predator versus Black Panther, Yaja invaded Wakanda and nearly dethroned its king. Now Ben Percy turns his twisted brain to Marvel's most beloved property, Spider-Man. A heat wave sends New York City into a blackout, and Spider-Man is on patrol as tempers boil across the city. Beneath its grimy sewers and subway lurks a threat unlike anything Peter Parker has faced before. Introducing Skinner, a predator of no honor and no clan, and only a thirst for blood. Exquisitely rendered by superstar artist Marcelo Ferreira. This is a dope book. I've already sat down and read it. It was amazing so far. I'm looking forward to seeing where this story is going. But I'm really liking what they're doing with Predator right now. I know there's a Predator versus Avengers going on right now as well, or coming up. So that's going to be really dope as well. But go pick this one up. This one was a really good read. Jumping over to DC this week, we have Batman, Vol 3, issue 59. This is Hush 2, Chapter 2, The Rook. Written by Jeff Loeb, art by Scott Williams and Jim Lee, cover by Andy Kubert and Brad Anderson, pencils by Jim Lee and ink by Scott Williams, color by Alex Sinclair, and lettering by the Richard Starkins. After the shocking events of the last issue, Batman must make the hardest decision of his life. And then we get Nightwing, Batgirl, and Red Hood all in this book. Have not read this one yet. Read the first one. Loving what they're doing with the new Hush. And that's basically the only reason I'm reading this, is because I wanted to get in on the new Hush series because I missed the first one. So pick this one up. It's been really good so far. Going over to Boom Studios now, we have The Last Boy, issue number 2 by Dan Panesian, art by Alicio Avalon, and cover by Elizabeth Torque. After the shocking events of the last issue, Peter finds himself at a loss as he tries to comprehend the new status quo. Needing help to move forward, he'll need to call on the Lost Boys once again, except they're no longer boys themselves, and they've got a dire warning about a new threat that could further change Neverland forever. Dan Panesian knocked the first one out of the park. I can't wait to read this issue to see where we're going with this story. Really loving the twist on the Peter Pan story. Kate recommended enough to y'all. Dan Panesian nails everything he does, so go give this one a read as well. Jumping over to Dark Horse this week, we have a new number 1 written by Cullen Bunn. Art and the cover was done by AC Zamudio, and the color was by Bill Crabtree and Josh Reed did the lettering. This is Arcane Royal, issue number 1. And in this one, Hudson Tremaine is a streetwise gambler who has siphoned money from every high-stakes game in Vegas. She's made a name for herself, but she's also made more than a few enemies in the gambling underworld. When she is invited to play in the most underground card tournament of all time, the Arcanos Mysterinos, she realizes the stakes are higher than she ever imagined possible. Imagine a clandestine poker tournament where magicians, demons, and demigods gamble using a set of mysterious tarot-like cards. These games shape the fate of the entire world, of many worlds, for good or ill. This game has always been played in secret, hidden from the prying eyes of mortals until now. This is going to be a really good read. I already know it's going to. I'm sitting down and reading it later today, but this is going to be a fun one. Now we're going over to Vault Comics makes their triumphant return to my recommendations this week. They've been off of my list for a little bit now because of a print error that of the book I was getting from Vault happened, and they had to redo the pre-orders and everything else for this book. But it's back, and we got it. So let's jump into it. We have Lilith, issue 3, written by Cornhow, art by Cornhow, and covers by Cornhow, Chris Sheehan, and Ashley Izanicki. The hunt went sideways, and now Lilith is fighting for her life against Michael, a fellow Babylonian out for her head. She just wants to go home, but she still needs Penelope's help to get there. Somehow, even more problems arise in the shape of a gooby. Oh, shit, I'm pretty sure I misspelled that. Monsters that are threatening to wreak havoc in Penelope's shop. Should have proofread that before I wrote it. But Lilith, issue 3, is back. Cornhow, nailing it. Love what she's doing with this book. So check it out if you can. If you can find it. It's a hard find. You might be able to go to the Vault website and just order it direct. But we're going over to Zenescope for a title real quick. We have Graham Tales of Terror, Volume 2, Issue 95, written by Dave Franchini, art by Babisu Cortis, and cover by Sonia Matzis, who is the Countess Mirkala Karnstein. Has Skye joined the Legion of the Undead and seen her last sunrise? Will Van Helsing have to stake a close friend? Find out in this thrilling, fame-filled conclusion, sure to alter the status quo of Arcane Acre. I really like Grimm Fairy Tales. It's just always a fun read. I'm a big fan of horror, so this kind of just falls into the territory of horror. So, who isn't a fan of a Van Helsing story? Now, jumping into some real horror for you, I have from Oni Press and EC Comics, Epitaphs from the Abyss, issue 10. And this week it's written by Jeff Jensen, Christopher Cantwell, art by Kano and Peter Krause. And this is the Derek Robertson cover. Remember, in EC Comics, everyone really can hear you scream. The most notorious name in terror pushes your pathetic constitution even closer to the brink with 3 all-new tales of rot, ruination, and revenge from today's most terrifying talents. In this month's assortment of epitaphs, the Gravedigger invites Jeff Jensen, Kano, and more to confront what horrifies by burying the hatchet deep into someone's back. 3 horror stories by some of the best minds in comic books when it comes to writing horror and drawing horror. Do these books. They are always phenomenal. They are always on point. EC, Oni Press, killing it right now with this types of series like this. But that's not all they're killing, because they're also home of Rick and Morty, and Ricklemania is happening right now. So we're never done with Oni Press, and I have no queeps or qualms with that. I love Oni Press and what they're doing with Rick and Morty. They've had Rick and Morty for, I think, for the last decade. So we got it right here, Rick and Morty, Ricklemania, issue 3 by Mark Ellerby, art by Mark Ellerby, covers by Mark Ellerby, James Lawrence, color by Meg Casey, and lettering by Crank. The pal-driving action of Rick and Morty, Ricklemania, continues as we reach the penultimate issue in the stakes couldn't be higher. While young, frail, pathetic Morty trains with his mom and Space Beth, Rick and Summer continue to take the Intergalactic Wrestling Federation by storm, but things are not as tight as they seem with the high-octane duo. As Summer's in-ring antics boost her popularity, bitter resentment and jealousy begins to brew inside Rick. Consumed by wrestling, popularity, and all the merchandise that comes with it, Rick starts his own bad boy, pickle-based wrestling faction and begins turning on his own friends and family. Oh no. Rick doing Rick things in this book. Check it out. Fun read. Oni Press. Nailing the game right now. All right, let's go over to Image Comics now. And we're going to start Image Comics with Dust to Dust, issue number 5. This is written by J.G. Jones and Phil Brom. Art and cover by J.G. Jones. With the Dust Bowl heating up, Sarah makes her plea to put the horrors of New Hope on the front pages. Meanwhile, Sheriff Meadows goes in alone to take down his top murder suspects and is aided by an unexpected ally. This is a great horror thriller. J.G. Jones, Phil Brom. Phenomenal, phenomenal book. Go check this out. It is really good. It's so fun. All right, let's keep on in Image Comics, and we have Universal Monsters, The Mummy, issue number 2 this week. This is by Faith Aaron Hitz, art by Lee Luridge and Faith Aaron Hitz, and I grab covers by Faith Aaron Hitz and Ryan Sook. Lee Longridge also does the color. So 10 years later, Helen Grosvenor surprisingly reconnects with her past at Cairo's most famed museum. But nothing can prepare Helen for the truth as she's confronted by an unexpected arrival who may be friend, foe, or something else entirely. Universal Monsters with Image. They've done most of the monsters right now. And right now we're on The Mummy. They have not been bad at all. Not a single one. They have all been amazing. If you can get your hands on them, go read them because they have been really, really damn good. We're still in Image, which means we're getting close to the end. But up next, I have Bug Wars, issue number 3. This is, of course, written by Jason Aaron, art by Mahmoud Azar, cover by Adam Kubert and Laura Martin, and Matt Wilson does the coloring, and lettering is Becca Carey. Lost in the yard, prisoner of the barbaric Beetle clan, Slade Slaymaker fights for his life against a horde of hungry mosquitoes, with the mysterious spider witch Wista by his side, and the marauding armies of the Ant Imperium come in to slaughter them all. This book is exactly what you think it is, and it's amazing. Check out Bug Wars. Jason Aaron is absolutely killing the writing on this book. The art by Mahmoud is amazing. Go give this one a read. Please, it is really good. Up next, I have a very special book, kind of near and dear to my heart. It's one of those books that kind of helped me discover comics along with Spawn. And this book really launched Image Comics into the forefront of comic books. But let's jump into it. We have Young Blood Deluxe, issue 1 by Rob Liefeld and Joe Casey. And Rob Liefeld did art and the cover and the colors. And the lettering in this one is done by Artist Story. So the Blood is back. Bad Rock, Shaft, Die Hard, Vogue, Sentinel, Riptide, Cougar, and Chapel. This is the ultimate collector's edition you've been waiting for. Rescripted, recolored, and relettered. This fully remastered historic first issue of Youngblood #1 is ready to take comic stores by storm, just like it did in 1992 when it shook all of comics to its core. Jam-packed with 40 pages of story and art, this deluxe edition, just in time for its 33rd anniversary, is the definitive version of Youngblood #1, the groundbreaking series that launched the Image revolution. To me, Rob Liefeld, when I was a kid, was like the dude to me with this book. It so much nostalgia here for me. I love it. So happy I was able to pick this up and get it. So shout out to my comic book store for putting that aside for me. I appreciate that. All right, let's go to Ghost Machine. In Ghost Machine this week, we got one title, issue 6, Hornsby and Halo by Peter J. Tomasi, art by John Calise and Peter Schnedberg, cover by Peter Schnedberg and John Calise. This issue you've been waiting for, Sydney, also known as the Adjudicator, continues to blow the minds of Zach and Rose by giving them a guided tour of their birthright and birthplace, heaven and hell. Will they come to embrace their new normal or reject it? The book is just now really picking up, and damn, it picked up in a big way. It is so good. The whole team over at Ghost Machine is like on top of it. I really enjoy their work. Can't say enough great things about them. Let's jump over to the Spawn universe this week, and we had 3 titles this week, which means we probably have something new. But let's dive into it. Up first, we have Rat City, issue 13 by Erica Schultz, art by Zay Carlos, and covers by Zay Carlos and Marco Thalia. Where did the chairman end up after his run-in with a pistol? And how is Quinlan surviving now that they are on their own? Erica Schultz has been nailing this book out the park. And I'm not the chairman that is being talked about in this one. I am the chairman of the United States Department of Nerds, not the same chairman in Rat City. His face probably a little different than mine. Check it out, Rat City, if you can. It is such a good read. Staying now, we're jumping over to Gunslinger Spawn, and this is issue 42 by Todd McFarlane, art by Carlo Barberi, and covers by Bjorn Barends, Don Aguilo, and Antonio Lucci. Demons, angels, monsters, and men are all after the Gunslinger. He is pinned down, outgunned, and out of ammunition, and he only has one option left. This is the Bjorn Barends cover. This is freaking a dope-ass cover. Fun series. I really enjoy the Gunslinger and what it's been doing. I'm really just enjoying the expanded Spawn universe. But speaking of the expanded Spawn universe, let's jump into the expanded Spawn universe right now. We have a new limited series premiere, and it's Medieval Spawn Vol 1, Issue 1 by Rory McConville. We got art by Marco Itri, covers by Francesco Mattini and Todd McFarlane. There's a black and white version of this cover as well. And this is going to be a fun one. It's going to be, what is it? I think a 6-part series, I believe. But before Medieval Spawn was torn from the past and stranded in his far future, he was a savage warrior battling across a cold and deadly landscape. He made many enemies. Some would even follow him to the present day. This is a tale of monsters, wizards, and hell knights. This has been on the couch for a little bit now. I'm happy it's out and I can give it a read. This is going to be a fun one. I think everybody out there who's a fan of Spawn is a huge fan of Medieval Spawn. And we now are getting a limited series on him. So it's pretty dope. But that is all my recommendations for the week of April the 23rd. Let us know what you picked up at your local comic shop down in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Be on the lookout on my other social media platforms where I'll be posting all the covers for this week. And be on the lookout. I should be dropping new shows here soon. We're going to be doing Andor, of course. See what else is out right now. I'm going to do a conclusion on our thoughts on the Daredevil series. So we got some good stuff that's going to be coming here soon. I'm getting those shows put together right now, and who I'm going to have on, don't know yet. I'll figure that out in the next week or so. But yeah, be on the lookout for those. I'll be announcing them soon. That's all I got for you this week. As always, I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget that like and share button and subscribe button down below this channel. And as always, on behalf of myself, the chairman, and the Council of Nerds, this USDN short is USDN approved.